Yeah.
Foo Fighters, overrated. Your thoughts?
100%, 100%, 100%. I'm sorry if my mum's listening because she's a huge Foo Fighters fan. 100% overrated. I think a couple of years back, I did myself like a little challenge where I said to myself, I'm going to listen to like every album from an artist. And I started with the Foo Fighters.
Oh, what a choice that is.
And man, I'm sorry to any Foo Fighters fanatics out there, but it was a fucking slog. They usually you come away from this and you find more than you originally had. So you listen to the albums, you're like, oh, this is a good song. It wasn't a single, it was an album track. You never heard it on the radio. Oh, this is great. I came away with it with no more extra tracks that I became a fan of. I think that albums are just crammed to the brim with like filler, generic rock. Like, I'm really feeling bad about getting really harsh about this because so far I've been very leveled and like I've even like defended quite a few of these artists.
It's okay.
Foo Fighters, like they are fine for what they do. They are the vanilla ice cream of music. They are the white bread of music, you know what I mean?
my thoughts on it, and I agree with you there, John. I agree with you. They obviously feature multiple talented musicians, and when I say talented musicians, I mean really talented. Dave Grohl, say no more. Taylor Hawkins, say no more. But I know people people I used to work with, and not particularly into music, but they would all get together and go to Foo Fighters concerts. And they are for people who are sort of on the fringes of rock music that can get behind the catchy songs and get behind this is a rock show. I like the Foo Fighters, but if a band ever screamed to me greatest hits album, it's the Foo Fighters. It's artists like Elvis Presley and people like that. Like, you could listen to the studio albums, but dear God, you're going to have an headache. Yeah. You are better off buying a greatest hits album because the filler on some of their albums is exactly that, filler.
If you were to look at my vinyl collection now and you go and look at all my Foo Fighters albums, I've got one and it's the greatest hits. That's all I need and that's all I ever want. I think when you say talented, they're all talented musicians, but like when it comes to crafting a song, it's like I think their greatest song must be, in my opinion, like Everlong or something like that. Even their greatest hit songs, I'm just not that like. I never hear "Learn to Fly" and I'm never like, oh, let's fucking go turn this jam up. This is a fucking jam. This I've never done that.
I used to cover "Learn to Fly," so I know it inside out. I also covered Everlong in like cover bands and things like that. They're good songs, not difficult to play, well written, very catchy, but they're going to stand the test of time. And you know they are. They're going to stand the test of time and they're going to be lauded as one of the best rock bands ever. And that's fine. That's okay. But they're never going to be my favourite band. They're never going to be my favourite artist. And I think they're so up there in like getting nominations for awards of best rock act, best rock album. And I just don't think they do anything particularly groundbreaking. They don't break the mold. They've got a formula and it works for them. Fantastic. It gets more neutral music fans into rock music. Fantastic. If that's what their role is. But I think they're massively overrated, in my opinion.
I 100% agree. I do feel bad because, as you say, everyone's entitled to listen to what they want and enjoy what they want. I think you kind of touched a nerve on the fact of, as you say, they're always the Grammy winners. They're always like, you know, the nominators and they're always like the winners of all these awards and stuff. I think that's wrong because that's where the whole point of overrated comes in, is they're getting looked at above other bands that deserve the credit that they're obviously not getting, because Foo Fighters is the radio-friendly rock music that your mum and your dad will listen to, and Susan on the till will listen to, and you can play it in Asda and everyone will have a good time, you know what I mean?
And it doesn't offend anyone, and it's just perfectly acceptable. Yeah.
I think they're also a band as well, and I think this is the problem with some bands, is like, sometimes I think artists release albums for the sake of releasing albums. It's like, oh, it's that time of year again, it's been a few years, let's release an album. Since I did that whole, like, start to finish listen, I'm sure they've released, like, 3 albums since then. And that was only in the space of, like, 5-6 years or something like that.
That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me at all, and that's okay, because they've got a loyal fan base that will listen to it and buy the records, and good on them. Good on them.
So yeah, I agree. Overrated. The you've actually made. I've thought up of another band.